I would like to speak about Haile Selassie, the Emperor of Ethiopia, who on November the 2nd, 1930 was crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Now, the Rastafarian doctrine is a doctrine that has been disputed and debated, and people question his divinity. But it's in a historical fact that he was crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords on November the 2nd, 1930. And the Bible talks about the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven will be established upon earth. So when the prophecy is fulfilled, we must recognize that it has been fulfilled and believe on him who has fulfilled that prophecy about God. But it is common. It's common in the world to say that Sellassie is not God, that he is not the God of the Bible, right? It's common for people to say that. It's common for people to believe in an invisible God, to believe in the sky. But yet, there are certain things in the Bible. You don't have to believe man. Believe in the Bible, because there are certain things in the Bible that talks about God, and believe in what the Bible says about God. Because even though it's common for people to believe that God is invisible, the Bible in fact does not say that God is invisible. The Bible actually says God is clearly seen. But if we don't believe in God, then he will be invisible to you. Let's go to Job. Job chapter 19. In Job chapter 19 verse 23 it says, "Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were written in the book, that they were graven with an iron pen and lead in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer lives, and my Redeemer is the Lord, and that he shall stand at the later days upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me." So where does this philosophy come from, that God is invisible? Because it doesn't come from the Bible. It comes from the people's own unbelief that Sellassie is not the Lord. Because without Sellassie, then you can't see God. Let's go to John chapter 6. In John chapter 6 verse 46 it says, "Not that any man has seen the Father, save he which is of God. He has seen the Father. So if you are of God, you shall see the Father." That is the promise written in the Bible, that you shall see God, whom I shall see for myself and not another. Let's go to 2 Chronicles. 2 Chronicles chapter 18 verse 18. 2 Chronicles chapter 18 verse 18 says, "And again he said, Therefore hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne. If you are of God, you will see the Lord." That is the promise of Jesus, is for you to see the Lord and know that Haile Selassie is the Almighty and that there is no other. Let's go to Revelations. In Revelations chapter 20. Revelations chapter 20 verse 11 it says, "And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. I saw him who sat on the throne, from whose face the heavens and the earth fled away." So it doesn't say God is invisible. It says that you have seen God, but yet they fled away from God, meaning you don't believe in God. They fled away from Haile Selassie, but there was found no place for them. Because without Sellassie, there is no fulfillment of the prophecy. But yet the Bible is a living document, meaning that it must be fulfilled, and it will be fulfilled, and it has been fulfilled. But the reason why you can't see that fulfillment is because you don't believe in his majesty. Haile Selassie the first. You don't believe in him, right? It said there was found no place found for them, meaning that if you don't believe in Haile Selassie, there is going to be no other sign. We're waiting for the sky to bust open and for somebody to come out of the clouds. There's not going to be anything like that. It has been fulfilled already. On November the 2nd, 1930 in Ethiopia, when Haile Selassie was crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne. Let's go to Revelations again, chapter 22, verse 4. In Revelation 22, verse 4, it says, and they shall see his face. Again, it's common to believe God is invisible, but that's only because they don't accept Sellassie for who he really is. But the Bible never said God is invisible. It says they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. They shall know the Lord. That is the promise, for you to know the Lord. Let's go to Matthew. In Matthew chapter 5, Matthew chapter 5 verse 8, it says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Over and over and over again. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. I seen the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, from whose face his name shall be written in their forehead. They shall see his face over and over again. That my words was written in a book in lead forever, so that they can't be changed. I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand, and I shall see him over and over again. So where does this myth and this theory come from that God is invisible? It comes from your own unbelief, because they don't accept the fulfillment of prophecy. Let's go to Romans. Romans chapter 1. Romans chapter 1 verse 19. And it says, because that which may be known of God, is manifest in them, for God has showed it to them. God has showed it to us. God has showed it. It says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, meaning it's not invisible. That God is not invisible. That these things have been manifested. That the prophecy has been fulfilled. The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew God, when you knew Haile Selassie, when you seen him crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords, when you knew God, it said they glorified him not as God. They didn't accept him as God. And it said the heavens and the earth fled away, and there was found no place for them. But we seen him sitting upon his throne. So if you think that God is invisible, it's not because God is invisible. It's because you don't believe in God. It says when you knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imagination, and their foolish heart was darkened. Vain in your imagination. That's what they was. Because you imagine God to be a certain thing. You imagine you seen a painting, you seen an idol, you look in the sky, and whatever your imagination is of God, that's what you think God is. But God does not follow your perception of him. If you think that God is a frog, some people think God is a frog. Some people think God is a tree. Some people think God is white. Some people think God is this and God is that. But God doesn't go according to what you imagine about him. It said they became vain in their imagination, because your imagination is not God.